Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome, True Secret Nation. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, are doing well today. I'm going to come on and say all praise to the Most High God of Israel, man. Just chilling out. We got some rain going on, man. We on the precipice of the Sabbath. I was just moved here to come on and do a little video for you guys, man. It's not the Sabbath quite yet. We're putting in that work. Got a lot of business taken care of today. We just chilling out with the Most High, man. The Spirit, okay. Praise the heavens, man. We just out here chilling out, organizing some stuff in our tent here. Blessed with, hey, man, it is what it is. We walk in the rain sometimes, all this and that. I'm blessed with something to, keep me dry, while the Most High's got to do the work, you know what I'm saying? It's got to rain, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, man. I want to encourage you guys, man, rain, why, guys, this is why it's so important for us to be one with the scriptures and take the time to, with the Most High's guidance, read the scriptures, man. Because, it brings so much joy and peace in a really messed up world that we live in. And this is why I keep exposing the stuff in this world the Most High has called me to do, such as Freemasonry, secret societies, because of the simple fact that, it's great, man. When we read the scriptures, that's our peace, man. The Most High provides us with peace. And I love being a vessel for spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, the rain brings blessings and prosperity, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, this is what the scriptures talk about. And so, we don't have to worry about any of that stuff, man. A lot of things gotta happen for a reason, See, a lot of people don't, the Most High has hid a lot of secrets from the wise, okay? So, we just on here, we're just rocking, man. We're taking it day by day, okay? I'm gonna encourage you brothers and sisters to do the same. We endure a lot, man. Us as Heavenly Father's people, we endure so much, man. And so, but guess what, man? Again, time and time again, I don't regret anything I've been through. We continue grinding. I will continue to long suffer. We continue to do that, man. Because I know the Most High is with me, man. I know a lot of people may not understand, the blessings that the Most High provides. It's not really a lot of the times here, man, in this world, it's not no material blessings, man. It can be what the Most High deems that we need. You know what I mean? Like I said with the tent, man, I'm blessed to be able to, stay dry while, business has got to be taken care of, okay? It's basic stuff, you know what I mean? This is what people get it all mixed up with the, this God that these people of this age worship, man. Blessings with the Lambo blessings. Okay, see, nah, man. Nah. See, this is why, dude. And it's not, I know I keep laughing about that with the Lambo blessings and all this. But it's like, see, a lot of times people by default, they want to ask Heavenly Father, oh, bless me with $1 million, or bless me with all this money and stuff like that, man. But you know what? What's really interesting in the book of Timothy, man, Paul highlights that, dude, money is literally, and I know it's not a direct quote, right? Depending on what translation you may read, this is not a direct quote, man, but money is the root of all evil, man. And so, how is this money the root of all evil? You can't add, the Most High doesn't want to bless us with a whole bunch of the devil's currency. You know what I mean? This is why it's a different kind of currency, different kind of gold, riches. We're blessed with Yahweh's glory, riches and glory. That doesn't always look like a material dollar. But, like, if we are able to get some of that and use the devil's currency for what Heavenly Father deems that we need, then that's great, man. Okay, and not all the time is it all these, again, man, I always highlight this currency, man. And look, I'm not telling you that you're evil for making it or whatever it is. I understand. The Heavenly Father understands too. People got to take care of themselves and all this, but I tell you, man, look, Dude, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I continue to share my testimony, man. If it wasn't for Heavenly Father and the archangels, I'd be gone, man. The only reason I'm even still here is because of Spirit and the Most High. Okay, we endure a lot of stuff. Everything under the sun, man. The devil throws it all at us and make us look so bad, man. And the devil makes us out to look so bad. A lot of people don't understand our situations. They'll say that, oh, we drinking alcohol or, doing drugs and all this and that, man. But you know what, dude? Don't let nobody take away the riches and glory of Heavenly Father, man. If you drink at anything at all, I'm going to encourage you, stick with wine, man. Okay, stick with the wine, man. Don't do all this hard alcohol crap. It's the same thing what they do with these Snickers bars and, all this garbage candy that we consume, that people consume. And what happens is people get this idea that sugar is bad for you. But in reality, man, all this processed food and this stuff, it's really a hyper-focused dose of sugar that is unhealthy. Versus if you're reasonable with the sugar and you don't have it all the time, it's actually, it could be very, it gives you that kick, in reasonable amounts. The problem is you don't consume it with this candy and processed garbage where they just literally, hyper dose sugar, and they wonder why people got so many health problems, like diabetes, all this other crap, man. And so, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The Most High has blessed me with healthiness, man. Okay, we fighting day by day, taking it day by day, and we just relaxing, man. Living it up, chilling with Heavenly Father, man. And a lot of times, you may be wondering, well, how is he suffering? How is he long suffering? Okay, there's so many different things, man. This is why it's so important to educate yourself and have the Most High guide your steps on this Freemasonry, these secret societies, because you'll encounter a lot of this stuff, man. This is when it pertains to the Great Reset and stuff. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Freemasonry is garbage, dude. It's all subliminal, man. It's really sad how Satan, I say sad, but it's like really sad how Satan hides in darkness, bro. Satan hides in darkness, and because of, Satan diseasing the minds, man, like Isaiah says, dude, this is how we understand the world that we live in, man. Okay? And so, I'm gonna tell you something, guys. The Great Reset, dude. Look, man, it's nothing to mess around with, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now. I know you think I'm crazy, you think all this and that. He probably thinking he's crazy. He's in a one-track mind of this Great Reset. Hey, man, that's what we're gonna do, dude. We've been awoken, man. And so we gotta warn that we gotta warn the house of Israel, dog. We gotta warn the house of Israel. Okay, I know it's just relaxing and chilling, man. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is what a lot of us just want to be, away from people, man. We at a point now where we don't trust nobody. We don't trust none but the Most High, man. See, this is why people, criticize us, say things about us. The narratives are twisted and construed about us. But, it is what it is, man. We don't focus on that. We focus on, sorry about that, guys. Got some motorcycles going by. We focus on the riches and glory that Heavenly Father and Spirit provides for us, man. Okay, when you have Spirit with you, you're powerful, man. Spirit is powerful. Through the Lord of Spirits. Okay, this is why I say, me and Spirit, it's all praise to the Most High God of Israel, man. And just rocking, man. It may be hard. Some things may be hard, but look, man. The Most High blesses us at times at the end. Okay, this is why I'm not afraid to lose my life, man. Dude, we've experienced blessings here. Oh, man, I can't even, I'm not even going to go all into detail, man. It's not no bragging or nothing like that, man, because, I'm not about that, I just love doing the Most High's will, experiencing what we've experienced, man, enduring Freemasonry, stuff like that, and doing all that stuff, man. And so, if you guys really knew and you did your due diligence, you would really understand Heavenly Father's perspective with, with the Great Reset. A lot of people are going to think that, oh, well, why is God letting this happen? God is so cruel. Okay, well, nah, man. Heavenly Father, dude, the Most High doesn't play, man. Okay, but that doesn't mean the Most High. With that being said, see, the divine has wrathful anger, not meaningless, mindless anger, but then also the divine has much love too, man. It's like the equivalent opposite. See, we are created with these emotions and anger and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, you think that our Heavenly Father knows what's going on, man. Heavenly Father knows, and knows what we need and enduring, right? So this is why we don't got to be worried about no, weather. We don't got to be worried about these things, man. We can trust Him and know that the Most High has us enduring these things. This is what a lot of this weather and this tornadoes and all this stuff, man. You guys got to realize that the government has the ability to do this stuff too, man. And Lyndon B. Johnson's quoted in the 70s, "He who controls the weather controls the world." Man, I'm gonna tell you something. It's something else, man. Okay, and it's I'll tell you, man. This is I'm gonna keep encouraging you righteous people out there, dedicated to the Lord of Spirits, and whatever is going on, man. Again, I probably should have been dead right now, man. I probably could have got some disease and dead and gone somewhere, man. But you know what? The Most High's willed me to continue to be here. I tell you, man, it's really something else. It really is. So this is why we're dropping this, quick, little, short and sweet, but fruitful message. I wanted to just get some work done, for the Most High before the Sabbath, man, because it's very important that we honor that. And Yeshua is the Lord of the Sabbath, man. And we take heed of what the Most High says on what we do on those days and what we got to roll with. Okay, and so it's great, man. Life is great. This is why I'm gonna tell you, the house of Israel and your righteous folks don't gotta worry about no great reset. Don't gotta worry about this stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna be made to look crazy for years, probably, man. Years. You see, you guys gotta understand the Most High's perspective. Time is something that's created through the will of the Most High. Okay, see that 5 years or 10 years ain't nothing to Yah, man. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of things that we don't understand, that we may not understand, but guess what? Y'all will help us understand what I'm gonna say, Mr. I am that I am. Man, it's all good, man. That's what Yah has stated to Moses, man. And I say that because it's not disrespecting the Most High, man. It's just like, it's just being proud of who we serve, man. I'm gonna tell you something. When you know the Master that you serve in heaven, I tell you, man, it's almost like the things of this world. It's really hard to bring you down. That doesn't mean that the Most High is not gonna let some things happen to level us up or to do these things, man. I'm gonna tell you, but it's about respecting the Most High, man. The Most High knows, the Most High knows, man. Okay, we respect that, and this is why we'll endure a lot of, abuse in this world, and that's okay. We let the Most High handle things, and just continue to go from there. So I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna get more into detail and help you guys continue to understand the Great Reset and encourage you to do your own homework about the world we live in. But I'm gonna just tell you something right now, man. You're not gonna be able to avoid this reset without the guidance of Heavenly Father. It's so bad right now, man. Things in the world is so bad. You wonder why people want to spending a whole bunch of this money and all this other stuff, and wonder why they depressed, dude. I tell you, man. Most High wants us to just relax, man. And just coast along, follow what He has for what Yah has for us, man. So what, we're gonna end it here. I don't want you guys to be on this too long. I wanna, it's coming up close to the Sabbath, so I wanna, go ahead and start wrapping up, because and you'll probably see this after the Sabbath. I know I haven't posted a video here in a little bit, but it's because we got some stuff going on. Got to get some things done in this physical plane, and thank you guys for tuning in, man. I know everything is said about me under the sun. I'm proud to dedicate my life to Heavenly Father, man. So Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for everything, man. And I'm gonna just use these. I'm gonna just use and let the Lord use me for whatever has got to be done and talked about. So we don't need to fear these things in this world, man. We don't need to fear none of this stuff that's coming in. It's gonna be some heavy stuff, man. This stuff is already started, bro. It already started, and it's just getting, yeah, patience. You haven't seen it all yet. This is getting bad, man. This is why the Most High is preparing us for the Babylonian downfall. Maybe it may not, and I say Babylonian downfall, but I tell you, man, America's, hand in hand with a lot of the Babylonian ideologies. America goes based off, a lot of these, rich and powerful nations of their currency and the gods that they create, the gods that the nations create, man. I mean, look at all these Roman goddesses and goddesses, Egyptian gods and goddesses, all these different gods and goddesses, bro. This is what the Most High warns us about with idolatry, man. Because it leads people astray from the true living God, the Most High God of Israel, man, and the old school biblical Israel. Satan has even had his hand in modern day Israel and messed everything up, man, and is really deceiving people. And Yah is letting, a great blindness take over people, and because the God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers. So stay strong, guys. Keep reading the scriptures. Get in prayer. Stay prayed up, man. Stay prayed up. It's very important that you do that, because if we don't, we're gonna be swallowed up, man. And even and it'll get to the point. I mean, dude, whatever happens to us, man. We don't get mad at the Most High. We don't do none of that, man. So I thank Heavenly Father and Spirit for just looking after me. You guys take care, man. Stay strong. We don't gotta worry about nothing, man. Just take it day by day. All right, relax, chill out. The Most High's got us covered, man. And the Most High sees the oppression that goes on. A lot of this Freemason stuff, think that they slick, doing all this subliminal stuff with the smartphone, all these other kind of stuff that is trying to intercept and interfere with our work in connection with Heavenly Father, man. And it is what it is. I mean, guys, we don't call nothing out specific or anything like that, except for really big issues, man. I mean, I tell you, I keep, with this wickedness that goes on. But guys, you take care, man. Stay strong. This is Truth Seeker, being used as a vessel for Spirit, and do the will of the Most High, right? It's all praise to the Most High, man. And I love you guys. Okay, so take it day by day. Don't stress. Stay in prayer, man. You start getting stressed out, just get in prayer. Get in prayer with your, So, take care, guys. Stay strong in these last days. This is Truth Seeker, signing out of Truth Seeker Nation. You guys take care. Bye-bye.